So now we are at the Goddess of Mercy Temple. This Goddess of Mercy Temple, it was completed at the years of 1800, 1800. So today it's already more than 220 years old. So this Goddess of Mercy Temple, in the old day, right, apart from being used as a religious site, it was also used as the place to solve the disputes. So as I mentioned earlier, we talk about the captaincy system that we have here in Penang. So in the early days, the British have divided different ethnic groups into different captaincy. So that time we have the Chinese captain who take care of Chinese, Indian take care of Indian, Malay take care of Malay, and the Chinese captain who taking care of the Chinese here have used this place, right? Use this Goddess of Mercy Temple as their place to resolve their dispute as well. So some of them even called it as a Chinese magistrate court in the old days, Chinese magistrate court. So because in the early days, this fund was used by the Chinese dialect of Hokkien and also the Cantonese people in the combination farm to build up this temple. So in the old days, this temple also known as Kong Hok Kong, right? Guang Fu Gong, right? Guang Fu Gong. That means the Cantonese and Hokkien combinations of temple, right? So because of that, initially when it was built, it was used as the Chinese magistrate court. It's been used to solve a lot of Chinese cases. But the Chinese way of settling cases, they are very different from the British way. So for the British, they always say that you are innocent until you are been proven guilty. That is for the British. You are always innocent until they can prove you guilty. That is always of the way of the British people handling cases. But for the Chinese people, they are very different. The Chinese people always use the different methodology. They always say that you are always guilty until you can prove yourself innocent, right? That is always the way on how the Chinese people dealing with cases in the old day. Not today, in the old day. So that time, if let's say you've been accused of doing something wrong, you will need to prove yourself not guilty, right? You are innocent in order to free yourself from the charges, right? So take it into example. Let's say that time you're going to accuse me of stealing your things. How can I prove myself innocence if let's say I do not have any witnesses, I do not have any evidence? How can myself prove myself as innocent, right? So that time, in order for you to prove yourself your innocence, the Chinese captain, they will prepare a hot bowl of boiling oil in front of you, and then they will tell you that, hey, dip your hand into the hot boiling oil. So if let's say I say that, no, I'm not dare to dip my hand into the hot boiling oil, which means that you are guilty. You're guilty straight away. But if let's say I say that, no, I'm innocent, I dare to dip my hand into the hot boiling oil, right? Then I can dip my hand into hot boiling oil. So if let's say I dip my hand into hot boiling oil, and then when I take it out, and let's say my hand get burned, right? When you put your hand into hot boiling oil, you get burned, right? And if let's say your hand get burned, which also means that you are guilty. It means you're guilty, The only way to prove that you are innocent is by when you dip your hand into the hot boiling oil, and when you take it out, let's say your hand doesn't get burned, which means that you are innocent, right? So for Chinese people, we believe that if let's say that you are innocent, you'll be protected by the Goddess of Mercy at the time to prevent your hand that getting been burned. So by using this kind of methodology at the time, they use this kind of methodology to judge the cases. So basically, you can say that everyone is guilty, right? That time, basically everyone is guilty because everyone will dip the hand into a hot boiling oil, you'll get burned. So you say you are guilty. So another example, let's say you've been caught of adultery. So illegal adultery. Illegal adultery here referring to you have a wife and your wife having an affair with another man. So that is illegal adultery. So for Chinese captain, the time, if let's say you're caught of illegal adultery, what they'll do is that they'll put you inside the cage, right? A very special cage. The cage that woven by this rattan into a small long shape. We call that the pig cage, the cage that make for the pig, and then they will put you into the pig cage and make you to have a public shaming. I bring you around the whole town to get public shame, and after that they'll bring you near to the sea areas and drown you down into the sea. So after they drown you down to the sea, they'll leave you there for 1 day. But the next day they'll pull you up again, right? So if let's say after 1 day, after they pull you up, you still survive, you didn't die, which means that you are innocent. But if let's say you died, which means that you are guilty, right? So basically these are the way on how they use to run on the cases that we have here, right? So if let's say look closely to these Goddess of Mercy temple, you'll find out that the architecture here, they are very similar in most of the Chinese temple around the whole world. So no matter where you go, most of the Chinese temple, when you go there, you always see they have 3 entrances. There are 3 doors, just as this one. They have actually 3 doors. You may not be able to see it clearly, but they are actually 3 doors. So these 3 doors here, they are very similar. Lots of country which Chinese temple they go, they're always the same. So why they have these 3 doors? Majorly is because of feng shui as well. Some of feng shui, and there's a practical reason behind, right? So these 3 doors, one of the door is actually for entrance, one of the door is actually for exits, and the middle door that you can see here is actually for the high rank status people. We talk about the king, the monk, and the deity to go in and out, right? The right and left door is reserved for the normal people like us, normal citizens, but there is 1 door for entrance and 1 door for exits. Why there must be a door for entrance? Why is a door for exits? Because in the old day, temple is always crowded with people, right? So let's say without organizations, there are lots of people will get injured or accident along the way. Imagine, let's say people carrying these joysticks and then they walk into the temple. One is coming out and one is going in. So some of them may be impacted, right? Maybe having this accident happening. So in order to avoid accident from happen, they have make it 1 door for entrance and 1 door for exit. So when you're carrying the joysticks, it won't hurt each other. That's the main reason. But which door is for the entrance and which door is for the exits? According to Chinese feng shui, the left door is always the dragon door, and the right door is always the tiger door. Chinese feng shui believe that we should always enter through the prosperity door of the dragon, and we shall exit through the dangerous door of the tiger. So we have, in Chinese we call that as 左青龙右白虎前朱雀后玄武, which means we have the left dragon, the right tiger, the front phoenix, and the back tortoise. It's the basic feng shui methodology that they use when they build buildings or structures, right? So the left dragon is where you're supposed to enter, but the left here is not your left and right, it's the deity left and right. So when we talk about left and right, it's always facing this side, facing these sides, facing these sides. So the left here will be what you're seeing on your right. We should enter from this door, this is the dragon door, and exit through that door. That is a tiger door, right? So enter through the dragon and exit through the tiger. That is this feng shui rotations to avoid accidents from happening. So apart from it, when you go to any of the Chinese temple in the whole world, you also will see they have these 2 lions in front, right? Sacred lions in front of the door. They are like the guardian angel or the guardian animals for the temple. So these 2 lions here, they are actually having different types of genders. One is male, one is female, right? So can you take a guess which one is male, which one is female, right? So I believe most of you all maybe have struggled to find out which one is male, which one is female. Today I'm going to teach you how to differentiate which one is male, which one is female. Very simple. If let's say you go to any of these lions and go close to them, you will see that some of these lions, there is a baby there. Search for the baby. Sometimes the baby is in front, sometimes the baby is at the back, right? So this on the left, if let's look at the left lion there, you will see that there's something on the back. So that something on the back there is actually a baby lion. So we know that is a lady lion, and this one that without a baby lion behind, there is a male one. So how we differentiate male and female is from these, right? Okay. So we will be moving to the next spots. We're telling more about Chinese culture.